First guitar of the new year that came to me is this Yamaha A1M, and you've seen these before. I've had them before. Nice. This is the mahogany backed version of this guitar. This is my third or fourth of these, and I kept one for my personal use, the one of the rosewood backed ones. This one sounds every bit as good as that one. And just a reminder really that Yamaha is one of these brands that just doesn't lose traction. I spend so much of this channel concentrating on up and coming new discovery brands breaking through, small OEM brands that make small runs that appear on the market for a certain amount of time then disappear. Up and coming companies that are starting to grab attention, others that are yet to grab attention. But I try to reserve some time for some of these old reliable brands, and I'm talking about Yamaha, I'm talking about Cort, I'm talking about Alvarez, those sorts of brands that give us from entry level to mid-range to some upper range models, and do it consistently, and to the point where you can trust that particular brand. Yamaha is probably one of the those brands where I feel that way pretty much across the spectrum. In other words, I've had the entry level, FG guitars, the 7 to 800 series that are sold for $199 and $299. Probably some of the best deals on the market consistently for years now. Even some of their older plywood models sound great. They're I forget the name of the model, but they have one model that sells as low as $149. That's a solid top and sounds great. And then these upper end guitars, this A1M, A1R series I really like, with the pressure tested solid spruce tops, really good attention to detail, satin neck, gloss bodies. They just always sound good. They're always easy to set up. A lot of times they don't need very much, and if they do, there's no real issues with the guitar, no dead spots, no major wrestling in the setup process. They just either come just needing a quick check through or a quick action or truss rod adjustment. Relatively easy stuff. And even in the electric guitar world, some of the Pacificas are excellent value. I haven't had any on this channel yet, and I'm sure they'll crop up at some point. I own one of the old SBG models, the one that Santana used to play before he went to PRS. And I also have one of the new Reverb Store guitars that I did a review of on this channel. I have a silent cello that has been one of the top electric cellos now for 20 years or so, that I use quite a lot in my recordings. They're just a company that has stayed at the forefront of musical instrument making, and everything I get from them seems to be quality, seems to be well made. And just because I like to chase down these new brands and models and discover new things, it doesn't mean I don't appreciate good solid craftsmanship and reliability from a company that's been around for a long time. So I thought because I got this in and I've done a video on it before, this entry is not specifically about this actual model, because we've covered it before, but just to re-emphasize that if you're looking for a guitar for your kid, or you're looking for a step-up guitar, or you're looking for a guitar you can record with like this, sometimes you don't need to look any further than Yamaha. They really do cater across the spectrum evenly and consistently. They're easy to get. Anywhere that I've been, you can get these. Most of these are available online at all the big retailers, both UK, US, Europe, Australia, South America. The distribution is far and wide. They use excellent electronics. I think the electronics on this guitar are particularly excellent. It's not I don't think it's a Fishman. It's their own, but I think it may be built by Shadow or Fishman. I'm not sure. These are actually made in China as well, which is no detriment to the model. As with a lot of Yamaha guitars, they're made in Indonesia or China, Singapore, other Asian countries, and they're excellent value, and they're really well made. The woods are well sourced, the joinery's good, build quality's really good, and they're great players. So just taking some time early in the year to give some props to this good old company that, even though they spread themselves thin, I mean, they build motorcycles and powerboats, don't they? It doesn't detract, as with other companies who spread themselves thin, it doesn't detract from their instrument making. They've just been consistently good across the years. So to get this in as a first setup of the year was particularly nice and encouraging, because once I set this up and sit down and play it, it immediately becomes one of those guitars where you think, oh my god, do I want to move this on? Do I want to keep it around? The Yamaha's always caused these problems for me, and a lot of times I end up keeping them and moving something on in their place. But I do sell a fair few as well, because they're such reliable brands. I never have problems with these going to customers becoming good guitars. I particularly love this A1 series. I think they're as good as anything in the $500, $600 market range. They're up there with all the Godin brand stuff, and your mid-range Takaminis and Alvarez. They compete really well with all that stuff, and come out favorably in a lot of comparisons as well. So there you go. Just more reliable, well-made, fine manufacturing from this company we're all familiar with, and we often rely on when we need a new instrument, or we're looking for an instrument for someone in our lives. Alright folks, see you on the next one.